So being as that you have to deal with so much on social media, just from your presence to now your brand and just having a vlog channel, maybe just even your personal life. How do you take care of yourself in terms of your mental health? So that way you are able to separate yourself a little bit from what goes on online versus your personal life.
So this is something I've been implementing lately, but I treat social media like business hours now. So
Okay.
I try not to I don't ever get on social media first thing in the morning. Sometimes I can go hours without actually checking Twitter, checking TikTok, checking any of the platforms. I treat it like work hours, work time. Like I allot times of the day instead of just like endlessly scrolling, because even sometimes if you see something online that isn't necessarily about you, don't you feel like weighed down when you just reading negativity online in general?
Yes.
So for me, I kind of have to be like, oof, this is not, I don't want to be a person who's like chronically, that's what people are saying, the Gen Zers, they say, you're chronically online. And when they say that, I know what they're talking about.
Right.
Just the people who are just like, they know every morsel of what's going on, when it's happening, why it's happening, where it started, when things go by. They know they're chronically online.
That's too
I don't
much.
want to be that person.
No.
So I just log off.
Okay.
I log off.
Okay.
I put my phone down.
That's good.
I put my phone down.
Are there ever times where, let's say you post something and you just choose not to even read the comments until like a certain time of the day, or not at all at times, just so that you're separate from the content? Or do you like to really be hands-on when you do a post or you do a video?
Yeah. I do like to post stuff and then just kind of camp in the comments just to make sure everything looks okay. Because you never know, like you could have like a nip slip or something. You just want to make sure. Because like people in the comments, the first comments will tell you the tea on
That's true.
Just to be safe. So I just try to like make sure there was no like mistakes or errors in the video or anything that needs to be taken out of the video.
Okay.
So that's what I wait around for. And then after that, I'll just kind of let people do what they do. I'll check back in like every other hour and just say, hey, like in case people have questions and stuff. So I'll kind of do that. But it's not like I sit there for the first hour, scroll, refresh. No.
That's good. So when you first started YouTube, I remember, well, I don't know if this is when you first started, but I remember years ago when you were working at Mac as a makeup artist, then you were doing your YouTube videos, and there was a lot going on even in your personal life with your family, maybe them not understanding, why are you doing YouTube and why are you doing makeup and all this stuff? But yet you were finding success there. How did you manage just the perceptions of people with what you were doing, especially looking back now, where it's brought you? How were you able to mentally manage other people's thoughts about what you're doing versus the reality of what you're doing?
Well, the reality is when I first started YouTube, like I wasn't actually career successful until like year 5, 6.
Okay.
Like I wasn't actually making livable money until like well over half a decade.
Wow.
So that's a long time.
It's a long time. And people would not think that.
No.
They would just expect that you're rolling in money.
No.
Because you have a lot of numbers.
No. Oh, no. And especially back then, like it wasn't as easy to monetize as it is now.
That's true.
And I think which is great, because like now you don't need to have millions of followers to make like a good living on social media. Like we've come a long way. But back then, no. You needed to, like, if you didn't have 500K, no one cared. I'll even go as far as to say, like, back when I first started in 2009, if you had like 100,000, that was
a
huge.
lot. That
was huge.
Yes.
So I was finding my flow and not quite doing it full time. So in the first couple years, I mean, you know how the climate was back then. Like it was actually kind of cheesy to be a vlogger.
It was fun.
No, it was fun, but it was like for people who didn't
know it. They thought it was so
especially
strange.
They thought it was so strange, especially Africans. Like they don't really like, they're like, okay, so when are you going to go back to school? They see one or the other. They don't understand like the nuances of having hobbies and stuff, like doing stuff that's not just workaholic stuff. So it was, I was just trying to change the subject. Like whenever people would mention it, because like you'd go to these family parties and people would mention your videos and it'd be so embarrassing. And I'd be like, yeah.
Now a word from our sponsor, Betterhelp. Ladies, a large part of living a softer and slower life is by receiving help from others, especially when trying to solve a problem. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. As a psychologist, I enjoy seeing clients enter my office in a stressed and overwhelmed state of mind and leaving feeling lighter, more confident, and more assured. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can help get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/feminine today to get 10% off of your first month. That's betterhelp.com/feminine. Thanks, BetterHelp.
Did you ever get to the point in your life where you ever felt like you needed therapy just to deal with so much going on, being someone who is online? I mean, you're constantly in people's faces. People think that they have the right to talk about the way you look, the way you sound, the way you speak. I mean, everything is judged constantly. And then you have your personal life and whatever's going on there. Do you ever feel like you ever needed to talk to someone else who was just away from all of this, who just was just totally separate?
Yeah, I think therapy is so important if you're a content creator.
Okay.
Especially if you have a lot of followers. I think it is incredibly easy to kind of get sucked into you, because here's the thing with when it comes to having like a big following, sometimes you have two extremes. You have people that are like overly positive that you can get sucked in and consumed into that, which is not always a good thing. I hate to say it because you need balance. You need people who are checking you, holding you accountable, but in a good way. And you also have the opposite extreme where people are just really disgusting and nasty and can be borderline harassing towards you. So I think navigating that path without outside unbiased like professional help is incredibly challenging. So I think therapy, like I encourage it. I encourage it for everyone. Yeah. If you have access to it. I know therapy is not unfortunately the most accessible thing. It should be, but I think it's a non-negotiable for like every living being, especially Black women in America, Black women globally. But I agree. We need therapy so bad.
And men.
Yeah, especially men. Especially yeah. But yeah, it's like crucial. It's very crucial. Because sometimes you just want to like talk about stuff and like, no, you're not crazy. No, like, okay, I'm valid in experiencing this. Like, why do I experience this? Why does this remark trigger me? Why is it that when someone says this, it bothers me?
It's so freeing to be able to understand.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think so too.
Helps. During my baby shower, when you came to my baby shower, you left a beautiful message for me.
Like 8, 9? Church. It's been that long. Yeah. I just want to say to both of you guys, I know we're here to celebrate the baby, but as parents, make sure you're taking care of you as well and each other. And I wish many blessings to both of you guys individually and as partners, as marriage partners. And I just hope that you guys never lose sight of that long after parenthood, because that's number one. And babies are cool too, but we got to take care of, got to take care of us too. So many blessings to you guys. I love you guys. And I'm just so happy to celebrate both of you.
It was something that you told me. I don't know if you remember, but you said that when I have the baby, it's really important that I take care of myself. You said, having the baby is great and everything. Being a mom is wonderful, but always make sure to take care of yourself. And I remembered that because it is so challenging to take care of myself. I remember you saying that. How do you take care of yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling maybe mentally bogged down? What do you do to just allow yourself to feel better in terms of something that maybe other people could take inspiration from?
So this probably isn't a good thing, but unfortunately, my method of taking care of myself usually ends up being like isolation. Like I just need to be by myself.
I thought you were going to say ice cream.
No, heck no. Unless it's vegan, because I don't eat dairy. But I saw like a quote. Apparently, it was like from a therapist that said, if your method of like taking care of yourself is isolation, or I think it said something like if your method of dealing with anxiety is like isolation, then you're probably like overwhelmed as a child or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, but I see what you're saying.
I don't remember exactly what the quote is.
I see what you're saying.
Commented or whatever. But I was like, wow, I do kind of like mentally check out. Like I just am like, all right, I'm gonna go in this corner, like phones off. Like I just completely fall off the grid. I need to completely pull away. And my fiance is really good about giving me enough space. Cause I actually, when I mean isolate, I don't mean him. Like I we live together, obviously. Like, I don't mind being around him. I actually prefer it.
Okay.
And he's like he's my comfort zone. So when I need to pull away from people, it's not him. It's actually the opposite with him. Okay. But in general, like, not answering text messages. And it's probably not the best because people mean well and they want to like see if I'm okay. Right. But a lot of times in the moment, like I kind of can't, like you're overwhelmed. Yeah. Sometimes I just need to be by myself. So that's probably one of the things maybe I can improve on. Maybe I'm doing right. I don't know.
I think it's a good thing. You're recharging.
Yeah.
And you're taking time to think about your situation, think about how you feel. I think it's important that you're able to do that. And I think that that's actually something that's a luxury because not everyone has the ability to be able to isolate.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a space to be by themselves, the time to be by themselves. I mean, it's a good thing that you can do it and that you do.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that you should change. As long as the people who you love know you're okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's important.
I don't just completely fall off the radar where I'm just like, okay, where were you? Like staying in a hotel for 2 weeks? No. But also to your point, I think because, I come from like a big family. So I was always like my entire life has been like sacrificing my time and myself for other people as like the third parent, firstborn immigrant daughter. But always having to give myself and be available to other people. So now that I'm an adult, you don't really unlearn that behavior. I reference my childhood a lot because that's a long time to like have the same learned behavior. And then when you have the ability to live by yourself, you're like, okay, I'm going to recluse now because I've never had the chance to do that. And it's kind of hard to like unlearn that.
Oh yeah.
Because you're so used to like the opposite treatment for so many decades. And then you get your own space and you're like,
perfect.
Don't call me. Don't text me.
Yes.
I'm out.
Absolutely. It's so important that even if you, I think, live in a place where you have a lot of people and you have the ability to leave every now and then, whether it's just to go to a hotel for a day or on a girls' trip, it's nice to do that just to be able to have your own space. As long as you're not like hanging out at like random guys' houses.
Yeah.
Because
put yourself in a weird.
Yeah. Just to not be home, right?
To not be home. I'm unwinding.
Right.
At the Four Seasons with some random producer guy. No, girl. Take your butt home. Take your butt home.